Hey, Shalom Israel, Brother Reggie Jr. here. So today, guys, I'm going to be reading Numbers chapter 30, just picking up where I left off from last time. And in this chapter, we're going to be dealing with laws regarding vows. And you'll find out once you get some understanding of this chapter that this whole chapter has to do with Jesus and the children of Israel. Okay, so I suggest that you do your due diligence on this chapter because it's actually a very important chapter. It's a big allegory between Jesus and the children of Israel. Okay, and with that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Numbers chapter 30, and I'm going to read verses 1 through 8 first. And it says, "And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel." So he was speaking to the chiefs, all the chiefs over the tribes of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with the bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. Verse 3, if a woman, okay, and this woman represents the children of Israel. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and this father here represents Jesus, and her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she have bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand. And every bond wherewith she have bound her soul shall stand. But if her father, again, which represents Jesus, but if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she have bound her soul shall stand. And the Lord shall what? Forgive her, because her father disallowed her. And if she had at all an husband when she vowed, and this husband also represents Christ. If she had at all an husband when she vowed, or uttereth aught out of her lips wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vow shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband disallow her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and the Lord shall forgive her. But every vow of a widow, and this widow woman also represents the children of Israel, and of her that is divorced, or this divorced woman, also representing the children of Israel, wherewith they have bound their souls, shall stand against her. And if she vow in her husband's house, or bound her soul by a bond with an oath, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband hath utterly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceedeth out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning the bond of her soul, shall not stand. Her husband hath made them void, and the Lord shall forgive her. 13. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it. And again, this husband representing Christ. So I'm going to reread 13. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. But if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he establisheth all her vows, or all her bonds, which are upon her. He confirmeth them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. But if he shall any ways make them void after he have heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. he shall, think about that, he shall bear her iniquity. Jesus shall bear Israel's iniquity. 16. These are the statutes which the Lord commanded Moses between a man and his wife, between a father and his daughter, being yet in her youth in her father's house. And I hope you guys got some understanding, and I will see you in the next chapter. Shalom.